Hey everybody, it's Jase with Marshall Made Collectibles, and today we're kind of doing a fun little review of something I grew up with that is near and dear to my heart. We are going to do reviews. This is going to be one of two that we're going to do of the Toxic Crusader Toxie figure that just recently was released by Super7. And this is in their Ultimate line, so what we have is the original Toxic Crusader Toxie, and then we have the Radioactive Glow version that was an Entertainment Earth exclusive, supposedly, but it's made its way to other vendors and outlets. What I'm going to do is the beginning of each of these videos is basically the same thing, but I'm going to go ahead and review each one individually. First off, I just want to go ahead and say I grew up with the Toxic Avenger. It was a guilty pleasure of mine back in my college days. Now I have to admit I am 50 years old, so we are talking late 80s, early 90s that I was a fan of the Toxic Avenger. Now the Toxic Crusader came along when I was about 21, so I really wasn't into the cartoon. I did see the toys and whatnot, and I do remember when they came out and I saw the Toxic Crusader, and even though he wasn't brown, what I knew him from, the Avenger, I did pick up a figure, and to this day I still have him, and he has never come out of the card, and I just always liked the color scheme. I thought he was cool, even though I am not familiar with the cartoon at all. With that said, let's go ahead and get into these, and we're starting off with all the figures in the Ultimate line from Super7 come in these very nice like brown shipping boxes, and they have the artwork on the front of the title or logo along with the Super7 logo down below. It says ages 14 plus on the other corner, but that is basically it. It is something nice to protect the art box. I don't have a lot of the Super7 figures. I don't collect 6 or 7 inch figures, but when I saw this, I had to get it. The only other one that I do have in my collection is the Super7 Ultimate Conan that looks like from the Marvel comic days. On the back, it just says it's a choking hazard. Super7 has the Troma logo, 14 plus, contains 1 action figure with accessories, and then there's just some legalese. But then that's it. Once you get into the box, however, you get this beautiful art box. And all their boxes seem to be similar. They're not just a square art box. They kind of have a more of a geometrical shape, and they have a slipcover top. What they've done here is they've mimicked that old Toxic Crusader kind of artwork like this, where you have the caution tape, where you have the caution tape down below, and then at the top you have like your toxic ooze or your slime dripping down, which makes up the slipcover. It is really well done, really nice bright colors. It's a real beautiful box. And then you got the Toxic Crusader logo right there on the front. Of course, since this is a slipcover, once you remove this, you're treated to the figure inside, and you can actually see the figure. He does come with an additional head. He has 3 canister grenades. He has a shield that the action figure, the original action figure from like 1991 came with. He has his broom with the American flag, and then he has a little clear blobby to sit on his shoulder. The figure itself is beautifully sculpted, nicely painted. Of course, he's got that big eye that's bulging, and what Super7 has done is they've made that eyeball be glow in the dark as well. We will go ahead and turn around. As you see, the box has that caution tape. It does say Toxie on the front. When you go to the sides, it has that deep cut window so you can still see the figure and the accessories, of course, with the caution tape. And then when we come to the back, it says, warning, this package contains Toxie, the likable, lumpy-headed hero. Then you've got the little symbol of the earth with the mop going through it, Super7. Of course, the whole Toxic Crusader kind of like warning label there. And as we come back around, it is the same thing. So let's go ahead and get Toxie out of his cardboard and plastic prison and take a look at him. And Toxie out of his plastic prison is impressive as hell, I have to admit. Being a 1/6 scale collector, and I have a few statues, and not in this scale. I mean, I've had some Mezco figures. I have some of the Mezco Dredd figures just because it's Judge Dredd. But really nothing in this scale, like I said, other than that Conan figure. And I know this is basically that buck that was used for like the Masters of the Universe figures when they had redid them through Mattel, and now Super7 is putting them out. I have to say I'm thoroughly impressed. I know there was people complaining about loose joints and whatnot. So far, I have not noticed any loose joints on him. In fact, after I took him out of his little plastic prison, I've been sitting here for like the last 15 minutes just playing with him. He is an amazing figure, amazingly sculpted. Of course, you can see I still have one in the box, which means I did pick up two. That was not on purpose, but since I have, I'm going to keep both of them. I'll just keep one mint in the box, and the other one I will have displayed. I will go ahead and go over his accessories real quick, and then I will do some close-ups of him as I bring him up closer. You will notice I have the spare head on one of those NECA stands. I've picked up plenty of these. These are great for even 1/6 scale figures if they come with a second head to display them in your display, so you don't have to keep like an amazing sculpt in the box. First off, I want to go ahead and touch up on his broom. He does come with his broom with the American flag. This time around, it is a sticker that is wrapped around a piece of plastic. That is nice. I know a lot of people were saying that this broom is a single note, one note plastic, but it isn't. Actually, if you look at it closely, the broom is cast in like an orange plastic, a bright orange plastic, but there are red bands around the broom and at the handle, and right here too where the flag flanks. Those are red bands. The rest of the broom is, however, orange, and it is reminiscent of the original figure. It is nice. If you didn't want to have the flag on there, you can take it off. I'm not sure why you would, because he always had that on. So mine will, of course, keep Old Glory on there. Of course, now it doesn't want to stay. There it goes. Other pieces of accessories that he does have, he does come with a clear blobby. You can see him with his little tongue sticking out. He's got his eyes. Some people have complained because it's not glow in the dark. That doesn't really bother me, because I know with the radioactive one, we do get a glow in the dark blobby with that figure. We have his shield, Toxic Crusader shield. This is almost the exact size of the original, but it is a different sculpt. I went ahead and checked it out, making sure that Super7 didn't just copy the mold, and they didn't. Looks really good. This time around, instead of the original figure, which this was a sticker, that is an applique, so that is on there for good. Looks nice. We have 3 of his little grenades. Bring them up close. If it will focus, there we go. There's some nice detail on there. And I know a lot of people might think that there's a lack of detail. I know what they were doing. They were trying to mimic the classic figure, so there's not a lot of paint apps or anything, and it's just so it matches the old Playmates version of the figure. Finally, we have the 2 different heads. You have the head without the bandana, and I just love that sculpt. I really can't see too much that distinguishes it other than it doesn't have the bandana. So they may have just originally sculpted this head and then sculpted the bandana on for the second mold. Personally, I like this one better. Again, I didn't watch the cartoon, but after knowing that I was going to get this, I did look up a few online, and apparently even in the cartoon, he doesn't wear the headband. And finally, we will come to the figure itself. Again, you have that beautiful head sculpt. He has that strap around the top of his body. Of course, he's got all those boils, toxic waste lumps or what have you, the ripped up shirt. He does have the black tutu, which the original figure from Playmates, if you look over in the corner, he does not have that. The black pants. He's got the yellow armband around the one wrist. He's got the colored armband around his right wrist. Orange boots, yellow leg wraps, just like the original figure. The split boot, just like the original figure. And then he's got the ooze coming out of the other boot, just like the original figure. Again, beautifully done. And so reminiscent of the original, that just that bright color. I don't know, it's something about the orange and the green and the black. The color contrast is just really nice. And he's not a single note either green. If you look, there is some attempt at some depth of shading, like you've got some darker green areas around to show like some muscle definition, which I appreciate that they didn't just, they could have just went solid green and not done anything else. That is not, it would have been nice either way. The original figure definitely didn't have any kind of shading going on. But just a beautiful piece. Anyway, I would love for Super7 to go ahead and re-release this figure and do him in a brown plastic. They can still include all this Toxic Crusader stuff, just do it in different color scheme, maybe a more realistic broom. Because I would love to see a realistic Toxic Avenger figure done up in the 7-inch scale. I know they've released it in their reaction line, so I don't think it would be too hard or out of the ordinary for them to do it. I'm sure Troma wouldn't care. And it would be really a coup for us collectors. And you don't have to even change the buck or anything about the body. All you would have to do is do him, like I said, in that brown and different motif. The boots maybe in a brown, the wraps like a white, dirty, yellow, like wrap color. And then like that polka dotted pink outfit that he was wearing, you'd still have the black tutu. And I know fans would go crazy for it. I know I personally would. And you'd have that dirty pink and polka dotted outfit that he was wearing. I would absolutely love that. In fact, if you do it, I'll tell you right now, Super7, again, I'll buy 2 of them suckers. So I hope they think about revisiting the property. I know they are in the reaction line, but I would love for them to re-release this. Then they would have 3 of basically the same figures that they released. This, the radioactive one, and then a movie Toxic Avenger version. Anyway, if you're new to our channel, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and that bell icon, so every time I release a video, you guys will be the first to know. At the very end of this, I will have some HD photos, and go ahead and watch the sister review I will be doing of the radioactive version. So again, this is Jase for Marshall Made Collectibles. Everybody, stay safe, take care, and thank you for watching.